versus the world.
Wesley, my lovely co-host, I feel like this is an arc of thrills, chills, maybe even literally, and mind-blowing reveals. But I think what's even more mind-blowing is that we're on episode 8 of the Monkey D. Luffy vs. the World podcast.
Woo!
Yeah!
Woo! We gotta start. Reese, I have to mention this. That if you were to do some subtraction, this could be episode 6 or 7.
How much subtraction?
Maybe
one or two. Wesley, you sent me a text like 30 minutes ago that was,
yes.
I've never wanted to talk about anything more in my life than this arc.
I do remember sending that message.
And I feel like I completely understand where you're coming from because this is a surprisingly dense, like 20 chapters.
I know. I mean, right off the bat, I was shocked at how much content there was in this arc.
I mean, we get to start. I normally don't want to just start by going through a beat-by-beat plot of everything. But we get to, I believe it's the very start of the arc is when we get to sort of flash back to Little Garden after we've left and see Mr. 2.
That is actually right at the end.
That's the end of this arc?
It is.
Well, I guess we're starting from back to front then, because I wanted to talk about that.
It is very cool, though. It's definitely interesting.
It's fun because I get to talk about my favorite thing, which is the localization of the One Piece manga.
Yes.
So this is a really weird thing to start on for this episode of Drum Island, which is us not on Drum Island at all. But
I think it'll be very fascinating.
It's a fun narrative tool because it gets to show us, like, hey, Sanji's actions at the end of the last arc are now coming to fruition, which is really cool. Because he came because of him on the phone with Mr. Zero, and he's, like, on the orders to fucking get Mr. 3 because he failed, which is cool. But the reason I want to talk about it is, and I'm bringing this up first because I knew I'd forget about it. He says he uses "Oh Come My Way" Kenpo. And that is a very weird translation. Because what he's saying in Japanese is Okama Kenpo. And something I learned recently, I was sort of always under the impression that Okama just meant, like, gay. And apparently, most translations put it as, like, queer. Okama is just straight up like the Japanese version of a lovely slur that I'm sure you can imagine in your head right now.
I'm picturing it.
You're rotating in your mind right now.
Yeah, it's a 3D model of each letter.
So I thought it was very interesting that to translate the word Okama, they just said "Oh come my way" because it sounds kind of like Okama. That's very interesting.
That genuinely may be the most bizarre translation I've ever heard of. So, is the original, like, I mean, not to be this guy. Mm-hmm. I guess my question here is it meant to be homophobic, or is there a deeper meaning here that I'm missing?
The answer is yes to both.
That's very interesting, and I'd love to learn more.
Let's just say we're going to be seeing more of Mr. 2 in the future. And we will just... We'll get there when we get there. I don't want to say too much. I think they were just freestyling on that translation button, man.
Wow.
So let's just say in the next chapters to come, we will come back to this discussion, is all I've got to say.
We're going to come your way, and I'm pointing right at my camera. That is not on.
Okay. Sorry, I just had to get that out of my way because that was, like, eating me alive. I, like, wanted to text you about it. I was like, dude, this is such a weird choice.
That is very odd. It's, it reminds me, not that I'm a big JoJo guy, but it reminds me of, like, the strange roundabout translations they have to do in JoJo, you know?
Like, when they made Limp Bizkit Flaccid Pancake.
That's the greatest couple of words that have ever come out of your mouth, man.
It's truly magical, and I'm happy they did it. Now, Wesley, This is an arc. It's like a map on the damn Grand Line. There's many places to start.
True.
And I started with a really weird angle. So what do you want to talk about?
I want to go... Maybe this is the obvious choice. But I've got a little off-kilter reason for going here. I want to go straight to our lovely, lovely Mr. Tony Chopper.
That's
Because I've
very
been dying to talk about true. I've been dying to talk about the very interesting and very well, we'll talk about it. I don't know if you agree with me. In my opinion, the very well written and illustrated backstory of Tony Chopper and Dr. Hirluck. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yes, you are. And I also think that it is an uncontroversial take to say that Oda has just gotten better and better and better at character backstories as he's gone on.
Absolutely. If you don't mind me jumping right into it, I have there's an interesting thought that crossed my mind while reading this arc, or this this backstory in particular, and thinking back to some previous arcs we've had. One Piece has had a very interesting relationship with animals in the sense that, maybe it's not super interesting. I find it interesting. All of the animals, Oda seems to have a really deep respect for animals, which I think makes sense because this is it's like an outdoor pirate adventure. So I think that makes sense.
That's also very Japanese, that relates to Shintoism a lot, but that's all.
Yes. Conversation. That is good points. That's true. But something that's interesting is that several animals have gotten interesting backstories previously. And while those have always been emotionally effective for me, and I think for you as well to a certain extent, I think we both had the critique that part of the problem was it felt like a lot of the sympathy was exclusively because they're just cute animals. And I'm thinking mainly about the dog from, I want to say was that Orangetown?
Yes, it was. I was going to hop in to correct you if you were wrong like a damn bull.
Thank you, man. But yeah, the dog from Orangetown, and then the giant whale whose name I don't remember from Reverse Mountain. Laboon. They both have tragic backstories, but part of the tragedy of that is simply because they're cute animals. So instantly they have a level of sympathy from the reader just because of that. And I'm not saying that's a cheap trick or anything necessarily. I think that's a fair thing to do. But something that blew my mind about this backstory, and something that made me love Tony Chopper even more than you probably already knew that I was going to love him, but even more than I do, is the fact that we're not just getting sympathy because Tony Chopper is cute, which he is. I'm pleased to say that this was by far the most emotionally resonant One Piece arc for me, to the point where as I was reading this, I actually got teary-eyed. It was that I was that emotionally impacted by the story, and it was specifically because of this backstory. And my favorite moments, jumping ahead there a little bit, is when lovely Tony Chopper goes on a mission to get this mushroom that he believes will help heal Dr. Hirluck after they created this great bond, this great friendship. And he gives it to Dr. Hirluck, and he's ecstatic. He makes the little drink. He has it. And then it turns out that the mushroom was actually poisonous the whole time. And it was literally just Dr. Hirluck receiving so much, I don't know, emotion and power from Tony Chopper, going out of his way to do that for him. That was what he needed in the moment to push himself further, even though he was sick and dying anyways. And I don't know, man. It just, I was genuinely very emotionally impacted by that story.
It's fucked up that we're basically jumping straight into the heart, the main course of this arc. I mean, there's no foreplay. We're getting into the damn penetration right now, man.
I apologize.
No, but
I've been dying for it though.
But I mean, it's just because I think this is an arc that maybe if I were to use my critical lens, imagine I'm Captain Kuro, I'm adjusting my glasses. I think this arc is oh my god, the backstory is so good that it surpasses everything else by a million miles, low key.
I think that's very fair, yeah.
And I'm not trying to I'm not gonna hate Oda because he wrote a damn great sequence of chapters, a great scene. Which, by the way, I think one of my favorite writing choices in this arc is we finally get Luffy versus Walpole, technically round 2, and he just immediately sprints at him with an Omega giant punch.
I know.
Into the entire flashback, and then the flashback ends with Luffy just knocking this motherfucker across a football field.
I know. I was actually a quick comment on that. I think that actually really helped the pacing too, because on top of the fact that we really want to like read through this quickly at first because we want to see that moment where Luffy punches this guy, but we want to slow down because we're actually receiving this backstory we wanted to hear. On top of the fact that we're also intercutting to possibly the funniest series of stories ever of Django returning.
Yes.
And
yes.
like having like a dance battle. I thought it was genuinely like perfect pacing by having all three of these stories like going at one time.
If Oda was not cooking the like saddest, most engaging backstory of his career so far, asterisk, like I would have just spent this entire damn arc talking about the Django storyline because I like the grin on my face was making my damn ears hurt.
I know, man.
When he takes off his glasses and he's got weird, fucked up heart-shaped eyes, I was like, Oda, you're a madman. What's wrong with you?
I know, man. I knew we were gonna talk about that because it's too good. I was genuinely dying. That was so funny.
It was so funny to like have that sandwich between Chopper fucking trying to kill himself.
I know.
I mean, I also love how they tied in the like weird Iron Hand guy from Baratier. I don't know if you picked up on that.
I did.
He was like his dance partner, and like I wanted genuinely an entire like OVA of like a mini arc of Django at this goddamn dance competition so bad.
That would be wonderful, man.
I adore when Oda can just like do some weird shit because like it also brings into question like I understand that this is like a vast ocean with many cultures, but like why is there like shitty 70s like Elvis fashion and shit? It was awesome. That's not a complaint. It was awesome.
I know. It's so good.
That was like the perfect silver lining running through this arc. It was stitched together. This is a beautiful quilt stitched together with fucking gold, man.
It really was. I just couldn't believe that he was back, man. Django
with his weird like Egyptian beard, like you know what I'm fucking talking about, the weird pharaoh beard.
Yes.
I don't think they adapted that in the anime, like the little dance party, but God, I wish they did. Please tell me they did.
That's
I might look into it.
Hopefully in the live action.
They actually cut Django entirely from live action.
Oh my god.
Django was just straight up not in. They left the Nyabian brothers. I think they even gave them like a third one. I think there's like 3 Nyabian brothers, but there's no Django. What is wrong with
brother? I know what we're not watching anymore.
Yeah, like this is like the damn Mona Lisa, but they got rid of her iconic smile. Like, what's the point of reading One Piece anymore?
True. Oh my god.
But okay, back to the best thing. Maybe okay. I'm gonna ask a question before we talk about this. Is Chopper's flashback better than Nami's?
My guts 1.0 reaction to that question is no, but I think I think this one had more personal impact to me.
That's fair.
What do you think, sir?
I think as a flashback, I prefer Chopper's slightly, but the resolution of Luffy walking up to crying Nami and like the walk to Arlong Park, I value a lot more than like beating up Waffle.
Oh, absolutely. True. I don't want to dig into your bag of tricks too quickly, but I looked at your complaints departments, and I saw that you compared Wapple to Don Krieg.
DK, man. The GOAT.
DK.
Wesley, thank you for reminding of this, because I saw a video over the weekend that literally made me cry with laughter, where someone edited Don Krieg to be like punching all the strongest characters in the One Piece like verse, and like he was, it was like the shitty English dub, and he's like, "You're too weak for me," and they're like, "What power?" And I wanted to send it to you, but it would have been spoilers. But fuck, it was so funny.
That sounds amazing. I love Don Krieg.
A little Krieg posting.
He keeps coming back, man. He's our gold goose, man.
Damn.
I think, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think Waffle is worse than Don Krieg. Like, Don Krieg has that meme status. Waffle just has nothing, man.
I think Waffle might be better because he's way more thematically relevant, and Don Krieg I don't think is interesting on a thematic level mostly at all. Besides, he's just like a big mean guy. I mean, not to put
That
on
is a great point.
not to put on my English minor glasses, my Crepton Kuro English minor glasses, but
Go ahead.
I
man.
think it's a very fun critique that Wapol, the like incredibly selfish like leader king who's only in this for like himself, literally eats his country and people to be stronger.
I was gonna say something. I mean, jokes aside, I think something that's actually crazy about this arc is that there's actually a lot of like political commentary in here, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I was gonna comment on that directly. I also think that was a great like, I don't know, man. It was like a great way to push that commentary like to its literal extreme.
I'll have you know that the One Piece live action recently announced that, by the way, this blows my
Yeah.
mind. The One Piece live season 2 live action ends at Drum Island.
Really.
So they're going to cover like 3 fucking arcs and then stop. I don't know why.
And this one ends on, we'll get to this probably towards the end of the episode, but this one ends on a pretty crazy cliffhanger. I think there's like 2 crazy reveals at the
Oh,
end.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That I feel like will be very strange to just leave at the end, but that is interesting.
It's so baffling that I almost feel like I have to be wrong, but I feel like I remember like hearing that and being like, oh, that can't be right, and then hearing it again. Because, well, the next arc that we're going to read is going to be very big and important and good. So that's why I figured they'd end there, but maybe they want to make that its own season, but that's like ridiculous.
How long is that next arc?
Definitely a lot longer than like the 20, like I think the longest arc we've had is like, what, 25?
That sounds right. It was was it Arlong Park was the longest so far?
I want to say that. I mean, I'm actually pulling up the wiki right now. Yeah, Arlong Park and Baratie were exactly the same length at 27. That's actually shocking.
That is. I feel like, I mean, I much loved Baratie, but I feel like Arlong Park covers so much more.
Well, I mean, for context, Drum Island's 25, and then the next arc is going to be 63 chapters.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I guess maybe
This
they
is
do
this is hefty.
beef that out a little.
Maybe it'll make sense. We'll
see.
we'll see when we don't. When I don't watch it, I don't know what you do in your off time, but
I probably won't, but who knows? I definitely feel like live action, they're gonna like do their fucking damnedest to make people cry at the Chopper backstory. Because I don't know if you saw his live action design, but they made him like look like a damn Pokemon.
I did see it. I personally don't like it. It has the same effect of like the live action Stitch. I just don't like that. Like live action Sonic the Hedgehog is actually a better comparison, I guess.
Yeah, honestly, it's not as bad as I thought. I'm not trying to be a hater, but I don't know.
That's fair. It's just not for me. If other people do cry, like whatever. Like I cried at this animated version, the manga version. So who's to say?
Which really quickly, let's loop back around to me give my damn thoughts on this flashback. This is so good. I knew for a fact you were going to be a Chopper fanatic, just because I feel like he's like an Orihime type. Like he's up your alley.
True.
In a lot.
I couldn't agree more.
He's good, man. He's good. He's very likable, like basically immediately.
True.
I think Oda goes a long way to sort of make him not like pitiable, but like so you can empathize with him so easy.
True.
I think my secret favorite part of the flashback, aside from the one that I listed, in my favorite moments, which by the way, we can go over that now.
Yes.
Because my favorite, I think you already said your favorite moment is the mushroom.
I did. Yep.
And my favorite moment is Hirude's like final words, which is like, when does a man die? It's when he's forgotten.
Yes.
And that resonates with me. I'm like, oh fuck.
That was great.
That one gave
was
me
an awesome
chills.
moment. I agree.
Those are the chills I mentioned, and I'm not just talking about the damn snow.
You could say there's thrills, chills, kills.
There is kills. There are. I think the secret, like, saddest part of this arc is when they do the trope of, like, get out of here, Chopper. I don't care about you, but I'm actually telling you to go away because I care about you. That classic trope.
That is
and,
true.
like, fine. It's been done worse. I'm not that mad about it. But the moment in which Chopper literally bashes his head against, like, a tree until he, like, cracks his skull open because he's so,
oh my God.
And he's like crying and he's like, will you love me again? It's like, oh man. That was like what made me like, I was like working out. I was like lifting weights, getting fucking misty eyed thinking about that shit, bro. It was
I don't
tough.
blame you, man.
That's definitely, I think to me, the moment that was so like, oh. As great, and obviously the mushroom moment is also great. My one comment on your sort of thing about like how he took the poisonous mushroom because he sort of needed that love at that moment. I think my interpretation of that scene is here Luke would rather die than reject an act of kindness from Chopper after seeing what he went through. Like, the amount of pain it would cause Chopper in that moment to be like, no, was like too much to bear. And he knew his time was short, so he's like, I would rather go out now. I've got an idea. I know how to do this with the time I've got left.
Yeah.
And like, God damn it, that's so effective.
True. I think that's a great read, man. I think they've got Chopper and Here Luke have genuinely just such a great dynamic. Like, might be Oda's best so far.
I mean, you say that, but I think Kureha and Chopper and Kureha and Here Luke have like another like S tier dynamic.
That's actually very true. I think, yeah, something that's really cool about this arc is that all of the side characters that, like, you know, maybe they'll come back, but like that are at the moment like Drum Island exclusive characters. I think they were all actually extremely effective.
I think this is just Oda's best character writing, point blank, like without competition.
That's honestly fair.
I mean, this was like, I would say maybe the hardest arc for me to pick an arc MVP, but just because I loved like 5 different characters in this.
Yes.
Like, Dr. Kureha was so, oh my god, I was like so impressed with her. I was like, this is such and like the way she's exact, like, it's obvious, but like she's the exact inverse of Luke, who's like well-meaning, but like,
true.
He's all heart, no mind, and she's kind of all mind, no heart. But she does have a heart, and she's like, there's even the parallel between Luke scaring Chopper off, and the, like, Kureha scaring Chopper off at the very end, where she's like, get out of here, so he can join the crew.
I thought, yes, I loved that. That was very interesting.
And like, I don't know, the way that Luke sort of like, his person, like, tying into the, like, when he's forgotten, like, his death and his life have changed Chopper and Kureha for the better, and like, has changed the world, and changed Drum Island with his, like, cherry blossom thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, like, that theme of like, how your legacy and like how your life and death impact those around you was so like powerful. Oh my god, Oda.
I agree. It was awesome.
Oh, it's so like, dude, oh my god. And my one final note is my like 4th or 3rd or whatever the fuck favorite moment that I also love, was like very resonant, is which Dalton, the lovely Dalton, who was almost my arc MVP.
I feel the same way.
He was delightful, and he's got a cool devil fruit, and blah, blah, blah.
True.
I think his line of, what's so wrong about wanting your country to have a heart, is so, like...
Yes.
In current day, very, very, very resonant.
True. I was gonna bring that line up specifically, because I also genuinely almost had that as my favorite moments. I think above all, that was definitely my favorite Dalton moments. But yeah, and the way that it interacted with the themes of this arc, because this arc has a lot of themes, like especially the political kingdom side of things. It's a great line.
I think the secret MVP of this, by the way, my arc MVP is Nami, which
I saw that. I'm excited to discuss.
I did not expect, like, I would have bet money against, like, if future me and past me met, I would never have bet, like, oh, dude, future me's never going to say Nami's his favorite. But I think, like, every single moment Nami has in this arc was, like, made me smile, like, physically smile and be like, wow, I love this character. Like, the way, like, they all treat her when she's, like, there's that, like, kind of obvious moment of her, like, being sick but trying to muscle through at the very beginning of the arc. And, like, she's so good at weather, she predicted the hurricane. But the real stuff that got me was just, like, the way she was interacting with everyone. Like, the way that she was the one who trusted Luffy to, like, carry her up the mountain. The way that, like, she had that bit with Wapol where he was like, oh my god, are you a Straw Hat? I'm gonna kill you. She's like, what? I'm just, like, dude, I'm just, like, here. I just, like, wandered here. And he's like, oh, okay. And then, like, runs away. But also pickpocketed his, like, weapons vault key. Like,
true.
That was so good. Or, like, when she lends, like, her coat to Luffy, that was, like, my other, like, one of my favorite moments.
Yes,
like, in all
that
of
was
One
a great
Piece.
moments.
And then he finally brings it back and it's destroyed, and she's, like, mad, but she's like, honestly, I knew it was gonna happen when I gave it to you. Like, the amount of, like the bonds they built, like, since Arlong Park, and just, like, as like, friends and comrades together, I was like, oh my god.
True.
I love Nami. This is such...
Yeah.
Like, I see why Oda's madly in love with her, because And I'm not even trying to say that like a wow. I thought she was like hot. I just thought like the character writing was so fucking engaging and like
Yes.
I don't know.
I think
man.
especially at the end too, she has some extra interactions with Chopper and with Kureha, and I quite enjoyed both of those too.
Yes.
Especially when there's a couple of bits of like Nami trying to like get up and go before she's fully recovered, and Kureha's like, no, not yet. And I really like those little moments.
Those also highlighted Kureha a lot, and like,
yes,
man, I mean, I'm looking through my damn screenshots, and like, there's that bit where like, she's like, "Oh, what's the ruckus?" And Luffy's like, "Oh, it's a fight." And he's like, "Nah, it's no big deal. Just go back to sleep." It's like, oh, it's so like, God,
that was a great moment.
It's so human, man. It warms my heart.
True.
But the secret MVP of this arc is Vivi.
I couldn't agree more.
I think Oda. It's crazy how Vivi basically doesn't like in the literal like textual story of the arc does like nothing. She's like hanging out with Usopp,
which I love, by the way.
Yeah. Speaking of, your Oda arc appreciation is awesome,
dude. That was like a quick comment I want to make is that like this is genuinely the arc that made me laugh out loud the most, dude. That moment is so funny.
By God, they were. Oh my God.
I don't know why Oda thought to illustrate Usopp's face stretching in that manner, but it's wonderful.
For my audio listeners only, we are currently talking about a panel of Vivi dragging Usopp by the nose, and his entire face is like being ripped from his skull. He's being dragged the snow. It's awesome.
It's wonderful.
But like Vivi, Oda, I think like ever since he realized he wanted Vivi to be like a part of the story and not just some generic background goon, has been in like overdrive of making her like likable. And she has so many good moments. The fun thing is that Luffy is not the character who's being contrasted to Wapol here. It's Vivi. Over and over again, it's Vivi.
Yes. Yeah.
That amazing moment in which like Luffy is just trying to like kind of like barge through these like civilians who are afraid of him, and then like Vivi gets shot, and then she's like, let me apologize. She's like bowing down before them, and like, dude, my God, that was such a good moment.
Wonderful.
I also think one of my favorite moments of the arc, because there's a lot of great moments in this arc, is like,
true,
when she gets shot. There's a brief cut to like the reactions of the Straw Hats, and I like Sanji specifically like looks so genuinely horrified, like. That impacted me. Like I felt something seeing him be like genuine like fear at her being shot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Vivi's like dressing down of Luffy about him being immature was like so cool.
True.
And
that
like
was great too.
Another great moment with Vivi is like when Usopp and her are just standing out in the cold watching their friends leave because they care about them. Like, oh, dude.
True.
Or I mean, especially the way that she's contrasted. They have that little flashback to Mary Joa, however you pronounce it. Which, by the way, it is insane to me that is dropped here and now on Drum Island, because that like location and all that stuff is like important to this day. Of like this meeting of the kings and stuff. That's like Oda's world building this arc, dude.
True.
Sorry, I'm like rambling about how much I appreciated Vivi in this arc.
No, you're good, man. Keep going. I agree with everything you're saying. I loved Vivi in this arc.
But the way that like Vivi as a literal child was like willing to like swallow her like pride and pain for the good of like the country, versus Wapol, who's just like making a fool of himself and like actively hurting those around him for like petty reasons and personal gain. It's such a I don't know, man. Like they really sell that she's like a good leader. I think leadership is like one of the big themes of this. Is like what makes a good leader. Yeah. And Vivi is like she's exuding those qualities over and over again. In fact, if I can comment on something really fun, I love how Wapol's like big Omega Hippo gun fails because not only were there birds in it, and like that's a funny gag, but the birds are nesting there because Chopper was like sad they were cold and let them inside.
Yes, I know.
He was literally defeated by like the power of kindness. Like, dude.
True. It's awesome. I think this arc is it's maybe Oda at his most earnest. Like sometimes the themes are a little bit like a little bit on the nose, but like I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just it feels very earnest. Like I can just completely understand everything that he's going for.
I mean, the fact that we've talked this long without that amazing moment of Luffy on the roof with the flag is insane, by the way.
I know. We gotta talk about that right now.
I mean, that entire fight is like kind of whatever, but I think that moment is like genuinely S tier.
Absolutely. It's also has some topicalness to modern day with how the Straw Hat flag is being used, but this flag being so important to Chopper is just such a great moment.
It's so good, and like Luffy like taking those cannon blasts. Oh man.
Yes.
And like talking about like what flags and like dreams symbolize, which is a huge theme in One Piece. Also, in this fight, I will say the the two moments I actually really liked in this like general fight were one, I love when Sanji blocks that big like hairball from hitting Kureha. I like
it's
that
such a
lot.
cool shot.
And then two, when they're like, oh no, we can't get there in time. So Luffy slingshots off Sanji's kick. That's so cool.
Yes, that was sick.
I mean,
that's a great. I honestly really like that fight scene, but it does have some of the like, it does just have some jobbers that suck. So,
what are their names? Chess and Marmo.
Yes.
Maybe Oda's worst characters to date.
They're very much on the same level as the Nian brothers from Seer Village, but.
Isn't it weird we spent like an entire chapter on like Wapol? I mean, it was fun, but it was weird that he shows up right outside the island in like a weird submarine and then never comes up again. That was weird.
I honestly kind of forgot about that because it was a little bit forgettable, but that is weird.
Yeah. I'm shocked at how much glaze I have for this arc, by the way. I only gave this a damn B+, and I'm just like, I'm meat riding it.
I know. I mean, something that made me like really consider why this arc is so good is most of the recent arcs, my main critique has been I feel like some of the Straw Hats have been underused. And even though this is like pretty definitively like it's like Chopper's arc, I think what's really great about this arc is that all the Straw Hats plus Vivi plus Hirlook and Kureha and Dalton all feel like they're used perfectly.
Yes.
Like they all have a moment to shine. Like we've talked about a good amount of the characters, but like I feel like we could even talk more about Vivi. I think Usopp is great. I think Sanji is great. Zoro has a great moment.
I mean, his gag of beating up a bunch of henchmen just for a jacket and being caught out in the cold, hilarious.
True. I know. That by the way, like the comedy in those, there's like a few chapter run. That joke wasn't that part of it, but it was just like I was genuinely laughing the whole time. I think there's also not to glaze my boy Usopp more, but Usopp has like great moments where he's like, Dalton, I will carry you up the mountain because I want to be hero too. And then he's clearly struggling, and then Zoro just picks him up with one arm. He's like, all right, guys, let's go.
But it's still like a heroic moment for Usopp because like you can tell he really cares. It's like trying to do the right thing.
Yes, exactly. It's a great character moment for Usopp, and it's just a funny moment because of the conclusion.
Well, it's even a great moment for Zoro because like I feel like he's really like he's kind of in a way respecting Usopp there as well.
And like you mentioned before, we've got a lot of like great interactions between Vivi, Usopp, and Zoro. It was all very fun.
Damn good ones, man. Damn good ones. This is another funny sort of memory from my first run through of One Piece.
Yeah.
I remember not liking this arc basically at all when I first went through it. I basically remember going, the flashback's really good, but everything else I don't give a shit about. And I was a damn fool high schooler back then, because this arc is very solid.
That's fair. I mean, I think this definitely doesn't have the best action, but something else I did appreciate is that I thought the action was actually pretty good. There's some great moments too, but I think definitely a standout for me, and I don't know if you feel similarly, but I think seeing all the different Chopper forms was actually a very cool like little action set piece.
It was cool. It was.
I also maybe the lore implications are something that'll get addressed later. But I think it's very funny that one of the devil fruits is just like the human fruits, which to me seems to indicate that maybe the fruits are like, maybe this universe is not exactly just human centric in a way, like from a writing perspective, which I think is interesting.
Absolutely. What happened if a human ate the human fruit?
I was gonna ask the same thing. What if a bull ate the bull fruits that Dalton has?
That'd be so cool, actually. That'd just be bull square. They'd look like the damn. They would go into like hybrid form, and they would look like a damn Shin Megami Tensei 4 Minotaur.
That would be awesome. What if it ate the bull fruits and then there's just two bulls?
There's a second one showed up.
Yes.
Man. You know what? I not to jump to conclusion.
Yes.
But I gave this arc a B plus.
Yes.
After talking, I kind of want to bump it up to an A minus. This is a damn good arc.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what we like to hear. Here.
I have so much good to say, and the complaints I have are, I mean, yeah, Walpole's like thematically a little more ambitious and successful, but like he's just not someone I ever like think about or care about at all. His henchmen are terrible, and like as I say in my complaints section, the arc has heart, but I feel like it's just missing something.
Yeah, I think my main complaint kind of ties into that because I do truly like Dalton, and I think that moment that we talked about earlier is great. But I feel like for an arc that's it has a lot of importance on like the people of this island and this kingdom, I feel like they almost aren't in it enough, and like when they are in it, maybe their commentary is a little shallow.
That's fair. That's very fair.
But I mean, that is tough to say because Dalton, like, you know, he's like the main guy, main representative, and like I think he's pretty good. So
not to be that guy, but what is the like medical technology level of One Piece? Because like all the doctors that Waffle like had hostage or whatever the hell were in like modern day scrubs. I don't know.
I know.
That's weird.
I was definitely a little bit confused because also like it seems like Luke and Chopper and Kureha are like concocting like crazy fantasy-esque like medieval potions and stuff, so like I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. By the way, I love how Chopper is introduced in the beginning as just like a reindeer and not anything special.
Yes, that was great.
I kind of wonder if there's a world in which like Chopper was just supposed to be like her reindeer pet, and then he went, wait a minute, I've got a great idea.
I'm glad he did. I thought it was very interesting. I knew who Chopper was before this arc, but I thought it was very interesting. Like that part when he's revealed, it did kind of throw me off because I was like, oh, is he not gonna like be more important till later? Because like this is a pretty subdued way to introduce a new character.
That's kind of the fun though. You just think he's a normal reindeer and he's a weird freak.
It's very sad that they keep calling him a little monster. I'm not gonna lie.
But they turn that around when they're like, well, don't worry, Luffy's a monster too with Sanji.
I know, that was a great moment.
That was a great Sanji moment. Sanji's like another like secret goat in this arc.
I know. He has that great Ronaldo kick of that hairball. I thought it was very cool that he accompanies Luffy climbing up the mountain.
The way he like fucking like throws them to safety and then gets his spine broken in the avalanche. I was like, goddamn.
That was tough. There's a moment where Luffy like reaches down to grab his hand and then it's just his mitten. He's like falling to his doom.
That was funny. This arc has got a lot going on. I mean, I think Luffy climbing that mountain for 3 hours in his like fucking sandals and vest and like having frostbite,
True.
that was a good moment.
True. I mean, Luffy honestly could also be the arc MVP here.
Right?
I think,
every character, I'm like, dude, you were used so well.
I know. I think I was definitely most between Chopper, Vivi, and Dalton, but I don't know, man. Luffy, I didn't want to just put Usopp again, but I nearly did just because of that moment where he offers to carry Dalton, because I just love that moment so much.
You're just an Usopp fanatic.
I can't get enough of him. We love him.
It's very interesting how Oda tries to manage, we've mentioned this before, but it's very interesting how he tries to manage like rotating all of the Straw Hats.
True.
Like, he was like, okay, Sanji took a backseat for the past 2 arcs. Let's, like, kind of put him more in an important role. I have to develop Vivi, because, like, you know, she's a character who's going to be more important soon. Like, so I got to, like, build that up. This is Chopper's arc, so I have to, like, focus on him. Zoro just got a bunch of stuff, so we're going to, like, kind of put him in the background. It's very fascinating.
Yeah, I definitely appreciated that since Sanji didn't have a huge role in the last arc that he's like the number 2 for a while here.
This is just a solid arc. This is a solid arc of manga, a solid arc of One Piece, and I think most importantly of all, it's got heart.
It does. I mean, I feel bad because I feel like we repeat these few points every episode, but like I think this is the most ambitious. I think the heart is the best part, and I think Oda has some great writing chops.
I don't know if I would say this is the most ambitious arc. I don't know if I would say that.
I would personally say that,
Yeah,
but
would.
I would, but I don't know. I'm not gonna like freak out if somebody says otherwise. You know, feel free to disagree.
I would list the most ambitious arc Oda's ever done if I had one.
Now that is what we're talking about here on Monkey D. Luffy versus the World.
Woohoo!
I think I don't know. I mean, I think maybe part of my glaze here is just because I think it's also very funny that the Django subplot is running throughout the entire thing.
Yes.
Like, I don't know, am I giving that too much credit? I think it was
No.
genuinely like an inspired choice.
It's funny as fuck. It's a great little like spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down for like the sad ass shit.
I'm watching like the most heart-wrenching, like cute little critter like try to smash its own skull in, and then the next page is like Django like with his weird eyeballs.
He's fucking grabbing his crotch like Michael Damn Jackson. Like Mike Jack.
Don't worry. Have you seen that meme that's like, teacher thinks I'm paying attention, but in reality I'm just watching the Jack and he's watching Smooth Criminal. I think when the Michael Jackson movie Michael comes out, which is the funniest name ever, by the way, but when Michael comes out, we need to do an episode, but just talk about how it relates to Django.
We should do an episode where it's like, hey guys, Michael review, and then we just like do an entire hour talking about the Django cover story.
Exactly. That would do numbers, I think, because people love Michael Jackson and people love Django, especially Netflix.
Did you know that Django is an anagram for Michael?
Is it actually?
No, it's an anagram for Jackson. Duh.
Oh, that's why everything's coming together now.
You know, man, there's not enough Chinese characters in One Piece. That's my take. Where's the Chinese characters?
It's I can't even get the words out. I couldn't agree more though. But that reminds me, there's I think it's about time we talk about something very important in this arc, and those are the crazy earth-shattering reveals.
Yes!
At the end of this arc.
I couldn't agree more.
Now, sir, I think there's two things. There's one thing that I want to bring up, and that's the importance of the letter D.
Yeah.
I thought that in another manga, I think that would have been a bad or silly moment, but I think it was actually effective here.
I think it's very, very effective.
I'm sure you know exactly what she's talking about. I don't, but the fact that Gold Roger's name is actually Gold D. Roger, just like Monkey D. Luffy.
I had to bite my damn tongue. Every time I said Gold Roger, I was so afraid of accidentally saying Gold D. Roger.
I appreciate you keeping that secret.
You're welcome.
Yes.
But I'm not going to lie. I didn't think that was revealed until like literally 400 chapters from now. Like I was shocked to see it here.
It is. I mean, it's very interesting. It's just the right way to end this arc, man. Just like a little tease of some bigger world building, you know?
Yeah, I'm biting my tongue like a motherfucker right now, dude.
I understand. But I'm gonna keep going and make you have to bite your tongue harder, because then we get the reveal of some kind of strange character named Ace that comes to the islands, and apparently he was looking for a guy named Blackbeard, and then instead of looking for Blackbeard, he says, "Do you guys know this Straw Hat Luffy? If you do, tell him that you should go to the exact island that they're going to in the next arc."
Yeah. Yeah, what about that? That's weird, huh?
It is. I think, well, first of all, I'm very charmed. I think Blackbeard is mentioned a few times, but I'm very charmed by the idea of, like, Blackbeard's a pretty iconic pirate, design-wise. So I think it's very funny that Blackbeard is just, like, a normal pirate in this universe.
Okay.
I'm hoping that he just looks like a normal, like, It would be very funny if, with all these fantastical designs, it's just like a normal pirate with a normal black beard.
I'm not saying anything, man. I'm not saying a damn thing.
I appreciate that.
You're just not prepared for his right-hand man Chinese mustache.
I I love the sound of that. That's wonderful.
But yeah, they were setting up. I mean, I said in my little reflection this was a transitional arc just because there's a lot of stuff being set up here, man.
Yeah. I think, I mean, there's even more because we get, like you mentioned earlier, we get that moment back on Little Garden.
Yes.
And then I believe we also get, yeah, it's at the end we get a glimpse at Alabasta with the two seemingly main antagonists of, I think his name's like Mr. Crocodile. Mm-hmm. And then Mrs. On Sunday again. So
Yeah.
this we got a lot of fun teases at the end of this arc that had me. I was hooping and hollering. I was pumping my fist, and I was smiling and laughing.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but I feel like Oda is about to enter into what I'd like to say is a black flash streak of arcs.
That's a wonderful reference to JJK.
And this next arc, which will be Lovely Alabasta, which is like by far like 3 times longer than the next longest arc so far, it's gonna be a damn saga, and I think we're gonna have a great time.
We're gonna make it a 4-part. We're gonna make it a 4-part episode.
I'd rather kill myself.
Whoa. We'll make it a 2-part episode. Don't worry. But yeah, I can't wait. I mean, this arc was very good, and I think him setting up that this next arc might just be even better. I think it's an exciting direction to go.
Oh yeah. Well, Wesley, I guess the last thing I'm gonna ask from you is, what are your predictions?
Yes. I just have one written down because it excites me so. My exact phrasing that I wrote down on my report card are, please tell me that Luffy or another devil fruit user gets to eat the little black pill that Tony Chopper made to use new forms. And then I posit, what would a Rubber Man Part 2 be like? Because I think that idea just excites me so much, and I really hope that happens. Or something similar.
Who knows? I won't say a single word.
That's fair. Reese, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
What are your reflections upon this arc?
I think that there's a shocking amount of setup in this arc. There's even setup in here that I did not mention because I can't tell you what it is. That blew my mind.
Fair enough.
I mean, once again, the fact that Mary Joie and like the royal meeting and shit is mentioned now, that's gonna be relevant like a fucking 1,000 chapters.
I'll keep that on the back of my mind. Don't worry.
I think this is shockingly great for what is just a transitional arc getting us ready for Alabasta. Like, I was kind of like, I remember wanting to be like, dude, let's do Little Garden and Drum Island like one episode just so we can like fucking get to Alabasta. But this needed its own episode, man.
True. There's plenty to discuss.
And I think I'm glad that Oda is curbing his habit of not writing all of his characters well, because I understand that juggling big casts is hard, and trust me, he will fail at it again in the future. But for this arc, he was just like locked in to like both developing like the inhabitants of Drum Island who we care about, not the general ones. I agree. That's a good point. They don't really matter. But like the Straw Hats, every single one of them gets to have like one memorable, good moment. That's all I ask.
Yes, that's all we need. Well, should we deliver our final arc ratings?
I think we should. You go first, man.
I gave this arc an A rating, but I'm deliberating between giving this an A+ rating because I thought it was really good. But I'm just gonna give Drum Island an A rating for the time being.
That's very interesting. I was wondering what the question mark meant.
Yes, sir.
I think that's. By the way, I gotta ask: is your scale going up to S? Because mine is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It'll go like A+ then to S.
Yeah.
And it'll go to triple S if it's that good.
Yeah, like DMC.
Exactly.
This arc rating I gave a B+, but I think I'm gonna post like making my report card, bump it up to an A- because this really was a tour de force of writing from Oda, and I have to respect it.
I agree. It was like the Tour de France, but for writing One Piece arcs.
Yeah. Well, Wesley, have anything else to say?
The last thing I have to say is remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell.
Leave a comment if you think we should release episodes or chunks of episodes that are like best of moments.
That'd be helpful insight.
You know what? Leave a comment if you feel a seething emptiness inside. I know I do.
Woo! Give it up for feeling empty. I will respond, and I will... Actually, I won't respond, but I will heart the message as the channel moderator.
Remember to heart those messages and ring that bell.
Ring, 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 ring.
Ring-a-ding-ding, baby. A ring-a-ding-ding. That concludes episode 8 of Monkey D. Luffy vs. the World. I am ecstatic to bring you episode 9 as soon as possible because Alabasta is going to blow Wesley's little mind.
And it is little.